Hey everybody, Pastor Frank coming to you live via a recorded message. I'm working from the parsonage today. And hey, I'm ready for the NFL season to start. Got my Cowboys gear on. They start Sunday night, so look forward to that. Wanted to stop by and give you a word of encouragement. You will be receiving a phone call, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, sometime this week. Your phone might be ringing right now. From a member of our nurturing team. And this is an effort just to check in on people. We want to see how you're doing and what your needs are. And I'll also be sending out a survey to the congregation today, later today, asking the same kind of questions. Just kind of, where are you? How are you doing? What are your needs? We want to make sure that we are doing whatever we can as a church family to be caring for each other and loving each other during this time of uncertainty and crisis and whatever else. We don't want people to feel like they're missed or not valued or not loved. We want people to experience God's grace and God's love for them through the love and ministry of the church. And so be looking for that phone call and a link to a survey that will be coming out today. You can take that survey anonymously if you want. I encourage you to put your name on it just so that we'll be able to follow through with you. But it's most important for us to know how people are doing and what's going on. This is a form of stewardship. You know, oftentimes we think about stewardship in terms of church finances, and that is certainly important. We can't do ministry without financial support. But stewardship of the whole person is what the biblical model for stewardship is. And we're thinking about the whole person emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, and everything else. This will all be tied into the new Revelation sermon series that starts on Sunday. You know, Revelation is not about earthquakes and violence and whatever else. It's about what's going on in the lives of believers and how God is active in the midst of that. And so I'm going to take feedback that I hear from these phone calls and this survey, and I'll be able to talk about how our church is dealing with their spiritual lives when we get to a week on prayer or a week on worship, a week on persevering through difficult times. So I encourage you to respond to the ways that our church is reaching out to you this week, to be honest and vulnerable, and to ask for help when it's offered so that we can care for each other. It's important to do that. If you are interested in taking the Bible study that will accompany the sermon series, there'll be an invitation in the weekly email that comes out on Friday where you can register. There's already a register link posted on the church Facebook page, and so if you want to sign up for that, the Bible study is free. It's on Zoom on Tuesday nights, beginning this coming Tuesday at 6 o'clock. And it's not just a study of the book of Revelation, it's about apocalyptic literature in general. And so we'll be looking at things like Daniel and certain teachings of Jesus and the Gospel of Mark and Matthew, as well as Revelation toward the second half of the class. It's a 10-week class, and I'd love for you to be a part of that. This is a time for us to draw ourselves closer together spiritually if we're not able to meet physically. The virus is still spreading and growing in Grayson County, and so we're still kind of on hold in terms of returning to in-person worship, but we're hopeful that we'll be able to offer some alternative worship practices next month, and hopefully, hopeful of returning to in-person worship soon. I invite you to be in prayer for the church, to be in prayer for the church leadership, to be in prayer for me as we navigate these really uncharted waters, and we're trying to do ministry the best we can. None of us are perfect, but we want everyone to feel loved and surrounded by God's grace, no matter what's going on in our life, whether we're struggling financially or worried about the future or anxiety about our health, or students and teachers in the schools and the struggles that they are dealing with. And God is a part of all of that. One of my favorite scriptures from Revelation is where it says, "Behold, I'm making all things new." And at the end of Revelation, a new heaven descends into earth. God's presence with God's people here in this world forever. It's a book that is full of hope and promise, and it is so relevant to where we are today. So I encourage you to answer the phone, fill out the survey when it comes, share your heart, and allow the church to embrace you and love you through this time. God bless you, and let's continue to be the church that God is calling us to be. I'll see you Sunday at 10 o'clock as we begin the sermon series. Take care. Bye for now.